Hey guys, it is Luke from DLM back with another Terraria 1.4 spoiler update. So this one is all you need to know about golf. So this is all about golf, but there are also some new graphical updates that we can kind of glean from the screenshots and videos that have been taken. So in this first image, you can see, I guess, everything the golfer NPC sells and everything related to golf. You can also see a really cool new hat stand, which I'm pretty excited for, and a few other new blocks. So this next image shows us the rules of golf. If you don't know the rules of golf, I advise you pause it, but I'm assuming most people watching this do know the rules of golf, so I'm going to move on. So we have 4 clubs being introduced. The first one is the driver, which is the most powerful and can push the ball the furthest. The next one is the iron, which is a nice use for approaching shots. It's a mix of loft and distance. The third one is the wedge, which is good for hitting the ball up high. And the last one is the putter, which is really good for just doing small, I guess, hits. And it's pretty obvious these are all identical to real life golf clubs, so that's how these golf clubs work in real life as well. Next we have an image showing off all of the types of golf balls. Maybe there are some more ones. I think maybe some animated ones would be cool, but who knows. You can see they're equipable, and I assume that once you've equipped it, when you right click somewhere, it'll spawn a golf ball. Following that, we have the golf whistle, which is a tool of last resort. When you right click it, it will return your golf ball to the tee which you hit it off from. It's worth noting that using the golf whistle will cost you 1 penalty stroke. Next we have the golf cart, which kind of just looks like a new mount, and it's useful for traveling around the course. I'm not sure how useful it'll be outside of the golf minigame. Following that, we have pretty much just an image showing someone starting to play a game of golf, but there's some really cool lily pads and new foliage in the foreground that's worth having a look at. Now moving on to how you actually start a game of golf. So the first thing you do is you walk up to a tee and you just right click. It's that simple. Once you've done that, you can drag and pull the left click to alter the trajectory and the power of where you're going to hit it. So the trajectory is kind of the angle, so you might hit it straight forward or hit it straight up, and the power is with how much force you're hitting it. So if you have a high power, it's going to go much further than a low power. Obviously the the type of golf club you use is obviously going to have a heavy impact on this. So the golf club like a wedge is going to have the ability to hit much higher up, and a golf club like an iron or a driver is going to be able to hit the ball much further than like a putter. So the next thing we're going to talk about is how the ball reacts differently on different surfaces. So the first example they've given us is mowed grass, and outside of golf I think this is going to be a pretty useful thing for building. It's just a much cleaner looking grass block. So the way you make mowed grass is you run over it with a lawnmower, but pretty much a ball is going to roll very, very smoothly on mowed grass. It's going to go further and it's going to roll longer on mowed grass than regular grass. And then moving on to the next surface they've shown us, on softer surfaces like dirt, sand, and etc. Taking shots on these surfaces that are softer by nature will take a lot more power off of your shot, and golf balls will not roll very far when they come into contact with these balls. Sand is the most notorious of these, so be sure to avoid those nasty sand traps at all cost. The next example they've given us is stones, bricks, and harder materials like that. So while taking shots from hard surfaces such as stone incurs no penalties, golf balls that bounce on these blocks will tend to bounce and roll far higher and further than on grass or softer surfaces. The last one they've given us is water. So water, if you're trying to shoot out of it, takes a lot of the power off of your ball, and it's very hard to get out of water. Other liquids, I guess, like water, like honey and lava, are much worse than water to get stuck in. They've also teased that many other blocks have many other effects. So for example, I assume ice might have a ball slip a lot more, but you're kind of just going to have to experiment and figure it out on your own. Alright, and the last thing I have to tell you about is the new golfer NPC, which it looks like you're going to get him from just finding him in the desert. At least that's my assumption from the last line of this paragraph. He looks like he just sells golf related things. On a final note, you should definitely check out Chaos's video on the golfing update. Relogic gave him early access to build some stuff in 1.4, including a golf course. The golf course alone looks really cool, and he shows off the mechanics far better than I have in this video. Definitely check out his video. He's an incredible YouTuber, so if you don't know about him, have a look. But thanks for watching. That's just about it, and I'll see you guys next time.